Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome back to Wheel of Wisdom, a place where the right message finds you. My name is Anisha, and I help people live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Hi, Nakisha. Grand Rising. Welcome back again. Happy to have you here. So, you guys can share in the comments which part of the world you're here from. And until you guys do that, let me quickly share with you guys what we do here in these lives, like give you a quick overview. Hi, Maureen. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the space. Christy says she's from snowy Minnesota and it is morning time there. Good morning, Christy. Thank you for choosing to spend your time here. Um, Mary says, good evening from Australia. Welcome, Mary. Nice to have you here. Um, Prabhat says, namaste. Good evening. Good evening, Prabhat. Welcome back. So, my dear ones, I see some of you guys are new here and some of you guys are regular ones. So, for those who are new, let me quickly share what we do here. So, we are going to start this live with a meditation that is going to be about 20 to 30 minutes, and it is going to be based upon the code that you see on Insight Timer's homepage. Okay, so we are going to absorb that wisdom and feed it to our subconscious mind. And once we feel more open, more centered, we will move on to phase two of this live where we will spin the wheel of wisdom and let the universe choose a book for us. And once we will have a book, we will play a game together where I will ask you guys to pick a number and we will do some intuitive readings for that. So I will share more details when we get to each part, but for right now, I would love to know that are you guys ready for today's meditation? Like, are you guys settled in a place where you would like to meditate? If so, you can type ready in the comments to let me know. And until you do that, let me also quickly share in the comments what we are going to do, like, for those who will join us during the meditation. So, give me a second. Okay. Wonderful. Nakesha is ready, Maureen is ready, and so is Christy. Thank you guys for letting me know. So, let us begin with today's meditation then. Begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to sit, stand, or lie down. Whatever your body needs right now. As you get comfortable in this position, allow yourself to take a deep breath in, and with the out breath, gently close your eyes. Becoming aware of the surface beneath you. Let the ground hold hold you completely, softening the muscles in your forehead, unclenching your jaw, loosening your shoulders, opening your chest, and feeling your arms and legs becoming heavier. Your whole body is sinking into deeper relaxation. Your mind is becoming still, and you have arrived at the door of your subconscious mind, taking your attention away from the world outside and resting it on the sound of my voice. Today, we are going to reprogram our subconscious mind using the wisdom from a quote by Neil Berringham. The quote is: "The grass is greener where you water it." The grass is greener where you water it. When we see someone else's success, happiness, or life, it can create the feeling that something about our own life is lacking. It can be tempting to believe that happiness, success, or fulfillment exists somewhere else, in another job, another relationship, another place, or another stage of life. believe that the grass is greener on the other side. Saturday's quote reminds us of a simple truth that just as grass becomes greener when it is watered, nourished, and tended to, similarly, the meaningful areas of our lives, like relationships, passions, skills, or personal growth, deepens when we give them consistent attention and energy. So, this quote invites us to shift our mindset, to shift it from constant comparison towards intentional cultivation, to invest our energy into the parts of life that we truly want to grow. And that's how your side of grass will also become greener. So, in this meditation, we are going to use a set of affirmations to help feed this wisdom into your subconscious. I will repeat each affirmation 3 times. For the first 2 times, simply let the words land into your subconscious. On the third time, if you feel called, allow yourself to repeat the affirmation either out loud or silently in your mind. So let's begin. You can release the habit of comparison. You can release the habit of comparison. the habit of comparison. Your journey unfolds in its own way. Your journey unfolds in its own way. My journey unfolds in its own way. You can return your attention to your own life. You can return your attention to your own life. I return my attention to my own life. You are learning to notice and appreciate what already exists in your own life. You notice and appreciate what exists in your own life. I notice and appreciate what exists in my own life. You nurture the values that matters most to you. You nurture the values that matters most to you. nurture the values that matters most to me. What you nurture begins to flourish. What you nurture begins to flourish. What I nurture begins to flourish. You invest your time and energy wisely. You invest your time and energy wisely. I invest my time and energy wisely. You stay present and patient with what you are building. You stay present and patient with what you are building. I stay present and patient with what I am building. show up with intention and consistent effort each day. You show up with intention and action each day. I show up for my goals with intentional actions each day. Small, consistent actions brings meaningful results for you. Small, consistent actions brings meaningful results for you. Small, consistent actions brings meaningful results for me. You can notice the progress unfolding in your life. You can notice the progress unfolding in your life. I notice the progress unfolding in my life. You did great. And now that you have planted these seeds of wisdom into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, Know that with each repetition, these seeds will continue to grow stronger and eventually bear fruits in your life. So, with that knowing, allow yourself to come back to your body. If you are feeling tired or in need of rest, then you can allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. And if you feel ready to meet the day ahead of you, then allow yourself to bring small movements to your body, like wiggling your toes and your fingers, letting your body move in whatever direction it wants to move. And finally, in your own time, gently open your eyes. Welcome back. So I see some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So a warm welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. And in case you guys missed the meditation, I will share towards the end of the live where you can find it. But for now, I would love to hear from those who did meditated with us, that how was your experience, or did you had any favorite affirmation from today? And once I go through the comments that come up, we will move on to phase 2 of this live, where I will spin the wheel of wisdom and the universe will choose a book for us, and then we will do some intuitive readings by playing a game together. Okay, so let's say the comment section now. Hi Bob, welcome back here. Happy to have you. Hi Ranjit, welcome. Good morning Chandan. Good morning Patrick. Happy to have you. Patrick says, thank you for the affirmations of wisdom. They are really helpful and encouraging. And seems like Patrick loved all of them, all of the affirmations. I'm glad that you liked today's affirmations, Patrick. And yeah, if you want, you can like listen to this again in case you want to go through the affirmations again. um, Hi, Kathleen and Max. Welcome to the space. Always happy to have you here, Kathleen. Chandan says, after doing meditation with you, I feel like to do Kundli Chakra. Definitely, Chandan, if you feel called to do that, then you can practice on your own, or you can directly, check out any guided track on Insight Timer. There are so many wonderful teachers here on that. So I hope that your system or your soul receives what you need right now. Christy says, what you feed grows. Thank you. Exactly. This kind of reminded me of that wolf story, like the famous wolf story, where you have like these two wolves, and whichever one we feed grows, survives. So it's kind of like that, with this thing that we think that the grass on the other side is greener, but all we need to do is focus on ours and try to cultivate, nourish it so that we get to cultivate the things that we want in our lives, and that may or may not be the same as other people, right? Kayla says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kayla. Kayla says, I love them all too, especially in this time we all live in when so many people feel pressure to compare themselves with others. I also love what Christy just said about what you feed grows exactly. Like she summarized this beautiful thing in just 4 words. And I agree, in this time we have access to so much information, we have access to the lives of other people and not the real lives, the ones that they choose to show, and then we see the best part of their lives, the best moments, and then we compare those best moments to our kind of neutral or even worse moments or even our happy moments, and we're like, okay, they are having much more fun. But hmm but that might not always the case. Sorry. Robert says, I like the affirmation that I will act consistently to nurture positive habits. Oh, a nice touch. Thank you, Robert, for sharing that. Or, okay, no, Bob, right? You mentioned your name was Bob. Yeah. So thank you, Bob, for sharing that with all of us. Yeah, habits like play a very key role. They are the things that we do every day. So they are going to have the most impact in our lives. Okay, guys, I'm really glad that today's information really landed for a lot of you guys. So, now it's time for us to move on to a more fun part. So, let me show you guys our wheel of wisdom. So, this is our wheel of wisdom. And as you guys can see, this wheel contains the name of 51 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey over the past 10 years. So now what we're going to do is take a moment, ask ourselves that what do I need guidance on today? And see if something specific emerges in your mind. And if nothing emerges, then simply send out this beautiful wish into the universe that may everyone listening to this, whether right now or later, receives the message that is for their highest good. So, holding either of those things in your beautiful heads as we spin. Okay. So, the book that came for all of us is Mindfulness for Beginners by Lara Hoshaiser. So, let's see what this beautiful book wants to deliver us today. Give me a second to open the book. Okay. So, this is our book, Mindfulness for Beginners in 10 Minutes a Day. Tiny changes are the ones that stick. Okay. And in case you guys are new to mindfulness, I actually have a resource that you might like, or if you like, to practice mindfulness, if you want hmm, more practices, then you can check this out until I choose some numbers. Okay. So, so my dear ones, now I invite you guys to pick a number between 29 to 108. Okay, no rush, take your time, see which number do you feel most called to, share that. I will go through all your numbers and pick one that my intuition feels called to. Okay. Okay, today was quick. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Caitlin. And hi. Thank you, Chandan. Thank you, Joe, Kayla, Kristen, Robert. Okay, Robert and Joe has the same number. Seems like we have the choice for today for the first reading. Thank you, Prabhat. So let us go with Joe's and Bob's number or Robert's number as it is shown here and see what wants to come through page 44 for all of us. Hmm. Oh. So the heading or the heading for this is building and keeping your sanctuary. So I guess that is the reminder from the universe for both of you to build and keep your sanctuary. So the author says, as you embark on your mindful journey, you will want to establish a place in your home that feels like a sanctuary for prayer, meditation, centering, and connecting deeply. It can be as small as a tabletop or even a shoebox, a traditional altar, an entire room, a wall of shelves, or anything else. You can spend 10 minutes each day setting up your sanctuary. Once it's complete, you can use it as a place to sit, clear your mind, and do your mindful activities. So, so there are certain things that you can keep in the sanctuary. First is like stones, crystals, rocks, or other natural minerals, feathers, cleansing herbs or incense like sage, copal, and so on. Or you can, keep photos, images, or statues of people or deities or gods that you are devoted to. Um, Fabric to line the surface of your altar, some plants, a journal and a pen, a chime, bell, or other, some instrument like that, a yoga mat, meditation cushion, or something else to sit on. So basically, whatever elements that resonated with you, these are just ideas as to what you can, include in it, or you can just keep like 5 elements there, you know, um, or something else, like whatever you feel like, okay, this makes me feel really connected. This brings me to the present moment. This is just really beautiful. This gives like calm, peaceful vibes. So you can keep that in that sanctuary. So I guess yeah, this feels like just a reminder to find your own sanctuary and sorry, create your own sanctuary and just be there once a day, even if not for 10 minutes, just for 5 minutes. Spend time there, reconnect with yourself, reconnect with something larger than yourself, reconnect with nature. If you keep a plant or something like that there, and that can really help you feel a little bit centered amidst all the chaos that is going on in the world or in your world. So let me know, Joe and Robert or Bob, if this resonated with you at all, if this is what you need right now in your life, or if you have any like ideas, or like if you really like it, then what are you going to include in your sanctuary? And not just, both of you guys, but anyone else also. If this feels like, yeah, this is the message that was meant for me, you can let me know that in the comments or share anything that comes up for you. So, this was our first reading. And now let me take out the wheel and see what wants to come next for our second reading. So, again, bring to your mind something you need guidance on as we spin. Okay. So, Joe says, thank you, Anisha. Perfect guidance. I'm glad that it resonated with you. Kayla says, I love that. I have been working on building an inner sanctuary. And one thing you said about the purpose to connect with something greater than you or with yourself gives me guidance for the why in my purpose. Ah, love that it really like put in that intention part to what you are building, right? And the things that we do intentionally have a different kind of energy to it. So I hope that you build a beautiful, beautiful sanctuary within your home or within yourself that helps you, feel more connected to whatever it is that you want to feel connected, that you need to feel connected in your life right now. So I'm happy, Kayla, that it, landed for you. Kathleen really liked the inner sanctuary part that Kayla mentioned. I do. And it actually reminded me of a meditation that we did on a quote that was on Inside Timer a few, like, I don't know, weeks ago. This was related to this inner sanctuary thing. So, yeah, in case you want me to share the number of the episode, Kathleen or Kayla, let me know in my group. You guys might know my group. If not, then it is this World of Wisdom. It is on Inside Timer only. You can find it on my profile. So you can share that there and I will mention the episode number. Okay. In case you are interested. If not, then yeah, you can ignore me. um, Kathleen says yes. Okay, you remember the World of Wisdom. Okay, the group. Robert says, I agree with Kayla that I want my sanctuary to be internal and decided beside it, gratitude journaling, meditation, relaxation exercises, socializing with supportive people. Love that. Love that you're creating like a, I don't know, sanctuary, a bubble in a way in which you are just nourishing yourself and nourishing your connection to whoever or whatever. Kayla says thank you, I will. Okay, I'm looking forward to their text then. So, yeah, we were on the second book. I forgot. So, the book that came for all of us is You don't owe anyone. You don't owe anyone by Caroline Garnett McGraw. So let's see what this beautiful book wants to offer us. Patrick says, I too have as thinking more of the inner sanctuary as the meditation to live with purpose. Ah, I love that living with purpose part. And the inner sanctuary part. But yeah, it just makes life more meaningful, more like we feel more alive when we are living more intentionally, purposefully. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing that you also resonated with that inner sanctuary part. Ah, okay, so for our second book, this is our second book. You don't owe anyone. And now let me choose some numbers so that we can play a game. So, my dear one, I invite you guys to pick a number between 19 to 284. Again, no rush, take your time, pick the number that comes up first. I will choose a number randomly based on my intuition, okay? So, yeah, go ahead. Okay, both the numbers were like pretty close. Thank you, Robert, Joanne, Christy, Kayla, Nakisha. And thank you for all the lovely hearts that have been flowing in. I so appreciate your love. These hearts are like so encouraging. So yeah. Thank you, Prabhat. Thank you, Patrick. Okay. Anyone else who wants to share a number? Okay, no one. So then let's go with the numbers that we have here. So the number that I am feeling most called to is 204, and the number has been chosen by Kayla for all of us. Thank you, Kayla. So let's see. 204. So the author says the great thing about saying yes when you mean no is that you get to avoid finding out who loves you for you and who loves you for your compliance. Again, the great thing about saying yes when you mean no is that you get to avoid finding out who loves you for you and who loves you for your compliance. Kayla says, wow. But the terrible thing about being a yes person is that you cannot avoid this reckoning forever. Eventually, you will falter, you will get tired, you will get sick, you will not be able to come through for your people, and it is both terrifying and instructive to see how they respond when that happens. So, so there is example or like a story that she shares, the author shares from her own life. And let me see if this is a long story. Seems like it is. So let me know if you would like me to read that instance from author's life, or like, do you feel satisfied with the message, Kayla? So do you want me to continue, or like, does this feel enough that you got the message that you needed? Okay, Kathleen says indeed to buy this book. Ah. I hope that it turns out to be helpful for you, Kathleen. It is, of course, the title in itself is like awesome. And the book too. Kayla says, the message woke. It is my biggest challenge in life. Always saying yes. Then, Kayla, I guess the universe is saying it is time to find out who loves you for you and how they respond when you can't comply to their requests, to their demands, whatever that is. And I hope that you feel enough, you feel embraced by yourself to be able to take that step, to know that no matter whether they stay or leave, whether they love you or not, you are going to love yourself for who you are. So, thank you for choosing that number and delivering, this beautiful message into the space, Kayla. Okay. So, time for our next reading now. You're so welcome, Kayla. So, now again, bring to your mind whatever it is that you need guidance on as we spin. Okay. Talk about the connection. The book that we got is Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. So let's have a conversation with God. Okay. So this is our book, and this is book one. There is, I think, four or five books in the series. So let me choose some numbers. Okay. So, my dear ones, now again choose a number between 26 to 181. Here you go. No rush. I will pick a number based on my intuition randomly. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. La, 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 la. Thank you, Nakisha. Thank you, Patrick, Robert, Prabhat. And thank you for all the hearts. Okay, anyone else who wants to choose a number? Okay. So let me see which number is calling me. Mhm. Hi, Cecilia. Happy to have you here again. Cecilia says, hi, Nisha. I love this book. Yeah, so do I. Uh, so excited to see what wants to come through from this book, Cecilia. Let's go with let's go with 150. Thank you, Robert, for choosing that number for us. Oh, Cecilia says it changed my life. Ah, definitely. Then, Cecilia, I would love to hear, like, what is one thing that you carried from this book with you, if you feel comfortable sharing. We all would love to, hear that. Kathleen says, what's the name of the book again? Kathleen, the name of the book is Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. Okay, so let's see what wants to come through page 150. So, the author says, self worth is not your problem. Sorry, like, not the author, God says that self worth is not your problem. You are blessed with an abundance of it. Most people are. You all think very highly of yourself, as rightly you should. So, self worth for the great mass of people is not the problem. Then, author asks, what is? God says, the problem is lack of understanding of the principles of abundance together, usually with a massive misjudgment about what is good and what is evil. Let me give you an example. The author says, please do. So God continues, you carry a thought around that money is bad. You also carry a thought around that God is good. Bless you. Therefore, in your thought system, God and money do not mix. The author says, well, in a sense, I guess that's true. That is how I think. God continues, this makes things interesting because this then makes it difficult for you to take money for any good thing. I mean, if a thing is judged very good by you, you value it less in terms of money. So the better something, that is the more worthwhile, the less the money it's worth. You are not alone in this. Your whole society believes this. So your teachers make a pittance and your stripteasers a fortune. Your leaders make so little compared to sports figures that they feel they have to steal to make up the difference. Your priests and your rabbis live on bread and water while you throw coins at entertainers. Think about it. Everything on which you place a high intrinsic value, you insist must come cheaply. The lonely research scientist seeking a cure for AIDS goes begging for money, while the woman who writes a book on 100 new ways to have sex and create tapes and weekend seminars to go with it makes a fortune. This having this having it all backwards is a propensity with you, and it stems from the wrong thought. The wrong thought is your idea about money. You love it, and yet you say it is the root of all evil. You adore it, and yet you call it filthy lucre. You say that a person is filthy rich, and if a person does become wealthy doing good things, you immediately become suspect. You make that wrong. So a doctor had better not make too much money or had better learn to be discreet about it. And a minister, whoa, she would really better not make lots of money, assuming you will assuming you will even let a she be a minister, or there will surely be trouble. You see, in your mind, a person who chooses the highest calling should get the lowest pay. So, if any of you is struggling with charging what you're worth, especially if you're doing something good, and you think that it shouldn't be worth a lot of money, like it should be very, very cheap, then this is the reminder from God that it's okay to place a price on something, you know, something valuable that you're offering and not feel guilty about it. Because when you don't, actually, a lot of like resentment builds up in the back end. And even if that doesn't happen, a lot of frustration happens because you don't have the money through which everything is run, and you feel like, I like doing this, but it's not helping me make a living, or I'm struggling to do that. And your energy is just getting drained in all those worries related to money. So, yeah, this is the reminder that wanted to come through. Let me know if it resonated with you, Bob, and anyone else. Kayla says, what a fascinating way to look at how different careers and professions are perceived and valued. Exactly, exactly. So, to check your association with money, like what comes to your mind when you think about it. And that will tell you why you might be struggling in relation to that in some manner. Cecilia says, so many truths resonated with me. God is loving. God, not a punishing. Sorry, God is a loving God, not a punishing God. That was ac- that was exactly what I carried from this book. Up until I read this book, I was like, I don't know whether I believe in higher power or not for some reason, because I never liked the idea of being God fearing or like a punishing God. I love the idea of a loving God, an accepting God, of a forgiving God. And that is what this book gave me a glimpse of. So thank you, Cecilia, for sharing this. Ah, Kayla says also the association between something being good and how it ought to not be tied to money. Exactly, exactly. Because we are like, money is bad, money is corrupt, money is this, money is that, and we never associate it with the good. Whereas if you have positive intention, you can do something good, a lot of good with money. So it is in itself not a bad thing. If you have money, you don't have to worry about it, and you can do all the good things that you want to do. You can use that money doing those good things, or it just frees up your time and energy to do the good things in your life. So yeah, Bob says it did resonate. I have some guilt feelings around making money, but I try to help others and give charity. Thank you, Robert, for sharing that. And yeah, and it is a nice thing, that you help others and you give charity. And when you do that, asking yourself that what are intentions behind that? Like, are you just doing that for getting rid of that guilt, or are you doing that because like, you really care about that cause to which you are making the charity for? Like, not asking you, just saying what is coming to my mind and asking you to reflect on that. And also working on your relationship with money in terms of that. Okay, Amali, let me know if I pronounce your name wrong, but Amali says, can you please put the book title in the chat? Okay, Cecilia has done so. Thank you, Cecilia. Um, Robert says, I do care about charities I give to. I love that. I'm glad to hear that. Ah, and you're doing an amazing job. I hope that you can feel the blessings and the love from those, you know, who receives that, whose life get a little bit better because of what you give, Bob or Robert. Ah, Patrick says, I truly believe that at least for me, it's not the money itself that is evil. It's the love of money, aka greed, is the evil part. And the lust after the power that comes with obtaining more and more. I gave up a business and prestige to live a simpler lifestyle. It was a life changing experience and freed me of that greed and lust for prestige. Now it's about helping people. Wow, Patrick, the courage to take the step in your life. And I love the lifestyle that you adopted. And yeah, I agree. Like, you know, the greed, the lust, the chase of like more and more and more and more. Like, when does it ever stop? Like, I've asked this question to a lot of my clients that what do you ultimately want? Like, what is your goal? What is enough? Because sometimes we never define enough and we just go by the definitions of society and we keep on running and running and running and we never realize that what is enough for me, when to stop that race, when to take a pause and enjoy it you know so thank you, Patrick, for sharing that is like a real courageous step from your side, and I'm glad that you liked it, that this feels like a life-changing experience for you, and that you're devoting your time and energy to helping other people. That is so beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Patrick says it stops when we choose to stop. We have to say enough is enough. 100% agree. Okay. Okay, Bob is your preference. Okay, got it. Thank you for letting me know. And Kayla says that is so noble of you. Yeah, it is. Okay, guys. So we have done, Kayla says, I have watched a friend who started off wanting to help people. He's now making more and more money, and it is like seeing someone be seduced by that love of money and success. Sorry. Okay, I love that, you shared that first part of it. It kind of like gives an evidence to the message that we receive that, you know, doing like helping others, doing the noble things, following your higher calling can also lead to more money. It doesn't have to be like exclusive of each other, Kayla. So thank you for giving evidence of that by sharing your like friend's story. And I hope that your friend stays connected. Like it comes back, some experience happens where he can like balance. He can bring that balance and bring that intention back to his heart, to his mind, to her mind or her heart. You know, that helps them stay. That helps them stay in balance. Mira says, I keep reminding him, hoping he can stay grounded. That's all we can, like, that's all you can do, you know. You cannot walk their path, you cannot change anything unless the other person wants to change in that aspect. You can just hold your ground and let them know that when they are ready to reflect on that, to take that path, you will be there for them. And that's all we can do, really. We cannot um, control other people's decision. We can influence them, which you are doing by, reminding him. And let's hope that life reminds him too in a gentle way. Okay, guys. So, I guess it is time for us to wrap this live. And I am grateful that you guys chose to spend your precious time with me in this space. It is always, always lovely to have you guys here. And I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. May you all be safe. May you all be happy. May you all be healthy. And may you all live with ease. Kathleen says, beautiful reminder, Anisha. Thank you. I'm glad that it resonated with you. Oh, Kayla says, thank you, Anisha. This live is always the highlight of my day. And I have been loving having you here, Kayla. You have a lovely energy and you bring, so many wonderful things in the comment section. So thank you for spending your time here. And I hope to see you all day after tomorrow at the same time. I do not have the card for that, so I cannot put it. But yeah, I hope that you guys can, join us again here. And for those, yeah, who like joined this live late, let me share where you can find the meditation that we did or like this whole live. So give me a second to show you guys where you can find it. Mhm. Like Insight Timer is hanging a lot for me. I don't know if it is for you or not, but yeah. So you can find it by going to my profile, going to the About section there, and when you scroll down, you will see this, and here you will find today's live, including the meditation that we did on today's quote. And you will also find all my other lives and all of my offerings and all of my free gifts, everything in one place here. So I hope that you find here what you're looking for, what you need right now. And it does actually take like 20 to 30 minutes for this live to get uploaded. So if you want like immediate access and you just want the readings or the name of the books, then you can go to the home page of my profile. When you scroll down at the bottom, you will see my group here with 126 beautiful beings. So you can join this group, and here you will find that within 5 minutes of the live ending, I share a summary of the live, including the name of the books, the exact readings, and sometimes some reflection questions as well. So, yeah, um, let's see. You're welcome, Prabhat. Namaste, Kela. Thank you, Christy, for this kind donation. I am glad that something from the space landed in your heart, and know that this contribution of yours is going to help me keep on doing these lives and to create more, free resources for those who need them. Thank you for supporting me in doing that. Nakisha says, much love and blessings. Thank you, Nakisha. Much love to you as well. Kayla says, wishing everyone a beautiful day. Same to you, Kayla. Have a beautiful, magical day. Bob says, thank you, Anisha, for your wisdom and sweet smile. Thank you, Bob, for being here and for your lovely presence. So, I will see you guys day after tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye.